Hey, first grade, it's me, Miss Schwartz. Today I am going to be doing a read aloud with you guys, and I'm super excited because we are going to be reading one of my absolute favorite books, Don't Call Me PruneFace. Now, this book is about a very nice boy named Paul who gets a new next door neighbor one day. This girl named Prudence moves in next door, and Prudence is a bit of a bully. We're going to read and we're going to see what exactly Paul does to try to solve the problem that he's having with Prudence. While we're reading, think about the character traits that Prudence has. Remember, character traits are the way that a character is like on the inside, or their personality, what a character's personality is like. Character traits are how a character is on the inside, or what their personality is like. While we're reading, think about Prudence's character traits or her personality, what she's like on the inside. I can't wait to read this book with you guys. It's super funny. Don't call me Pruneface. I'm a good boy. Everybody says so. Grandma says, Polly, you are as good as gold. Prudence is a lunatic. Prudence walks her cat on a leash. Let's turn this a little bit so you can see. Prudence walks her cat on a leash, but mostly the cat just walks on Prudence. Grandma says, don't judge a book by its cover. I'm giving Prudence 1 week to change my mind. Day 1, I meet Prudence. I say, I'm Paul. Welcome to the neighborhood. Hi, Pill, Prudence says. I'm Paul, I say. My dog's name is Bobo. Prudence says, I shall call your dog Oops, as in oops, what a mistake giving that cute dog to you. 1 day down, 6 to go. Does anyone have any idea about character traits that Prudence has yet? Day 2, I meet the cat. Prudence says, my cat's name is Scratch. Want to pet him? Just then, Scratch hisses and his hair stands up all over. Prudence says, I can tell Scratch likes you a lot. Did I mention that Prudence is a lunatic? Man, that cat does not look like he likes Paul very much. Day 3, dumb, a matter of opinion. I say, Prudence, look, see the string between our 2 windows? The boy who lived in your house and I used to use the string for sending secret messages. It's a cool invention. Prudence says, it's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Well, the dumbest thing I've ever seen is a cat on a leash. Day 4, eyes and flies. The doorbell rings. It's Prudence. She sticks her tongue out at me and she says, hello, 4 eyes. I tell Grandma about Prudence. Grandma says, you catch more flies with honey. Sometimes I have no idea what Grandma's talking about. What do you think Grandma means by that? She said, you catch more flies with honey. Take a minute and think about what Grandma means when she says, you catch more flies with honey. Bobo and I have a talk in my room. He's a good listener. He's the only one who understands. Bobo thinks that Prudence is a creep. That's mean, I say. Bobo just stares at me. Grandma would say that Bobo stood his ground. Day 5, cooties. Prudence and I wait for the school bus. I say, may I stand under your umbrella, Prudence? Prudence says, ew, stay away from me, cootie. I say, a cootie is actually an insect called a cockroach. Prudence says, then you're a cootie cockroach with glasses. Grandma always says, let a smile be your umbrella. Grandma never waited for a bus outside with Prudence. I tell Bobo I have a new name for Prudence. I call her PruneFace. Excuse me. Bobo thinks PruneFace is a perfect name for her. But I won't call her that to her face because I'm not mean. I'll just keep it between Bobo and me. Day 6, a froggy day. I'm walking Bobo. PruneFace is walking Scratch. PruneFace says, "Oops is so cute. You're cute too, Pill, for a frog." I say frogs are actually very important to our ecosystem, Prudence, and I walk away. I call her PruneFace, but only in my head. Bobo hears me. We actually just saw Paul use one of our strategies that we've been learning all about when we're having a problem with someone. What did Paul do? Think about it for a second. What did Paul do to solve the problem when Prudence was calling him a mean name? That's right, he walked away. That night, I dream I am a tiny dancing frog puppet. PruneFace is pulling my strings. I wake up. It is time to stop PruneFace. Grandma would say, "Face your fears." Tomorrow, I will talk to PruneFace. Unless any of these things happen. 1, I get my own talk show. 2, Bobo and I go on the run. 3, the scary shrub in our garden eats me. 4, I put on my baby sister's sweater by mistake and it has to be surgically removed. 5, I'm arrested when Bobo poops on Mr. Peeper's lawn again. Do you think Paul's excited to talk to Prudence? Seems like he might be a little nervous. I don't know. Day 7. Time's up. He said that Prudence had 1 week to change his mind, and it's the last day of the week. Let's see what happens. None of these things happen. Bobo and I go to see PruneFace. She is dressing Scratch in a pirate costume. I say, "Please don't call me Pill anymore." PruneFace says, "Okay, I'll call you Cootie, Cockroach, Four Eyes, Frog Face, Pea Head." And I say, "Why are you so mean, PruneFace?" PruneFace screams silently. Her mouth is a perfect O. Then she runs inside her house. I yell, "Flies eat honey!" I have no idea what I'm talking about. Man. How do you think Prudence, how do you think Prudence is feeling right now? She made a big O in her mouth and silently ran inside her house. I feel bad all day. I stay in my room with Bobo. I don't tell Mom or Dad or Grandma what I've done. I brush my teeth, make my bed, and help Grandma fold the laundry. Polly, you're as good as gold. If only she knew. Why is Paul feeling so guilty right now? Why do you think Paul is feeling so guilty right now? That night, Bobo is barking. He sees a note clipped to the string outside my window. The note is in code. DCMPF exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, EOD. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. What does it mean? I turn the note over and I find out. Don't call me PruneFace. End of discussion. I write back. DCBO exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. DCMP exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. DCMCCFEFFPH exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Bobo doesn't like my note. He thinks I use too many exclamation points. What do you think Paul wrote? I'm going to zoom in a little bit. What do you think Paul wrote? Trying to figure out what Paul told Prudence. The next morning, I wake up and look outside. Bobo is playing fetch with Prudence. How did that happen? I call Bobo, and he comes running to me. Prudence comes running too. She says, I never liked dogs, but Bobo's the coolest. Can I walk him, Paul? Did Prudence just call him Paul? My grandma says you don't know someone until you walk a mile in their shoes. I have no idea what that means, but I let Prudence walk Bobo and I walk Scratch. Prudence and I do not switch shoes. I don't wear pink sandals. The end. Man. So what would you say that Prudence's character traits are? And do you think that Prudence changed from the beginning of the story to the end? Thanks so much for reading this book with me, you guys. I really love this book. I think it's so great on teaching us how to handle bullies and when people are calling us mean names. And I can't wait to see you guys next time for the next video. Bye, guys.